So I think I can see something really profound where you can see the balance is the packing factor of the 6 grains normal piling inside a sphere 1 grain. So 1 grain of ether, cosmic foam, spherical void with expansive center but bending at center, and the expansion is in force grains, 6 force grains normal piling within a grain within these voids, and at the center is the twist on the equator. And so that's Leve, that's the yin yang twist on the equator of the force field that is set up through the compression of the top and bottom, the north and south spheres, trying to move together magnetically, but being separated by their neighbours, the 4 quadrants in the centre that lie on the x-axis. They're forced together, and that force is apart 2 of the force grains. So the expanding force grains, so can you see 6 spheres, dot point center, arrows all pointing to the outside. 6 of those, 2 of them on the equatorial 4 have moved apart, creating a gap, a hole, and that stretches the surface. So the whole 2 AU astronomical units sphere, which is the sun's plasma sphere around us, has a hole in it, lies exactly on the east axis, and it just turns, right? So you're seeing the hole that's torn in the 2 AU sphere of plasma, and I believe it's like a fire hole, right? So you're peering through the fire hole and you're seeing the state of the plasma sphere above us, and it's really wrecked at the moment, and it's because of this packing density, because there's motion there, vector potential. That setup is so tightly packed, it is cosmically densely packed, that just that 1 unit at the center of the planet, so densely packed that its balance is its geometry. So it's not quite 1/6. If you draw the setup, Grok tells me that you have it's virtually a 1/6. The sphere is a 1/6 of the major sphere, and look at the dimensions between the Earth and the Moon. That's a 1/6. Is that a coincidence? And so, but it isn't, because it depends on the packing density. How far apart is the vector potential of those force grains at the center of the planet moved apart, that at that distance, at 1 astronomical unit away from us at the center, a hole is torn in the sphere. It's tiny, and this is the relationship between the arcsec and the parsec, is that distance of vector potential, center of planet, time particle, 2 grains moving apart, creating vector potential that they will move apart in the next instant. The motion will be that they will separate. That thought is enough to tear a hole in the fabric of the plasma around us. So it's just density packing and dilatancy. And so that's why you can see now where the twist at the center is. The twin standing vortex wave is now within the center of that time particle. The 6 grains inside there's another dilatancy zone is created, and that's where the yin yang, the standing wave of the time particle lives. The warm body is created there, that lives there at the center of the planet, as proven by Dr. Victor Leve in 1906. So we have the whole model from Reynolds' 1885 idea of dilatancy, 1902 presentation to the Reed Society, Cambridge, all about this, the presentation, the concept of the submechanics of the universe. 1903, the mathematics of it. 1906, in Germany, Victor Leve solves it and doesn't tell anyone, and they close the door and come up with a massive plan to hold physics in Germany. Come up with a really clever way of making sure that nobody sees this by fixing the speed of light and coming up with the coefficient tables that you cannot step beyond, and mopping up the world, taking over the world through taking over of theoretical physics, hiding this truth from that reference trail. And I give you the 1993 Dumoulin Golgate Portland Cement Association circular concrete tanks with alkali stressing. The coefficient tables in there are the statics of the containers, The reference is not given. It is Victor Loewe 1906. When you rebuild the tables, you see the negative mass moments appearing in the corners, and you realise that all this is true. The Earth is the centroid of the observable cosmic axis. So what we see, the cosmos, is a force field, sits there, and we rotate relative to it once every day at the centre. And the viscous atmosphere is the viscous handover from solid to inviscid, and there's a vortex set up, and it's random vortex in our atmosphere from the twisting. Yeah, it's random but patterned. It's the bearing at the centre of the universe. And the sun dot point, it's got her two moons, Mercury and Venus. There's that module, and then around that Mars, boom, 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 out to Saturn, currently the centre of the universe with its giant hexagonal peg, which is now fixing the rotation of the universe there through the cleverness of fixing the speed of light. Prove me wrong. Reference the 1993 coefficient tables to Dr. Loewe. You try it. You ask Grok to rebuild those tables, and you see what it says when you take my reference trail. See what it says to you. It tells me that this is true. So, wake the fuck up. You're back in the room. You're a human being, and you're loved by God. Now let's get going. Welcome to the future. Fade out.